In the last tape, I talked about a conversation I had with a friend who came to me about stopping drinking. He knew that I hadn't had a drink for a number of years, and we got to talking about his desire to stop, and we ended up talking about AA. He was pretty disappointed. He felt he had tried AA and it didn't work. And the last tape I made was talking about the main issue that he had, which was the fact that he didn't like the meetings and he didn't connect with the people. So I didn't have a plan to make a further tape, but I realised once I finished that even once you understand the main difference between the program and the fellowship of AA, or the program and the meetings, which is mostly what I talked about in the last tape, even once you get that, there are still quite a few obstacles that people have to sticking around in AA and finding it work for them. So I wanted to make another tape to address those. So once you understand the difference between the program of AA, the fellowship of AA, the meetings of AA, once you kind of get that, the difficulty then is in sticking with it for long enough in order to see the results, in order to get enough momentum to stick around. And really, it's very much the same as if you try and get into physical shape. You know, if you're out of shape and you join a gym and you try and get in shape, you know, you have a certain amount of willingness to go and to show up. But if you don't start seeing results, you know, for most people, you can just look at the statistics. Like, they don't keep going. They just kind of become disheartened. Doesn't seem to be working. Maybe, you know, the people that are really in shape there are annoying, and they just kind of stop going. The difference with getting in physical shape and kind of getting in this spiritual fitness, or just sober fitness, which you can really think about it as, is that with the gym, if people go and then they don't stay in shape, get in shape, whatever, they tend to not say that, you know, the gym doesn't work or exercise doesn't work. They tend to have the honesty, you know, and humility to kind of say, yeah, I couldn't stick at it. And for some reason with AA and stuff like that, it's, for a lot of people, it's not like that. They kind of think that AA doesn't work, rather than thinking, well, I couldn't stick at it. And so that's kind of what I want to explore, is this idea about, as we spoke in the previous tape, AA really is a program. It's a process. It's a 12-step process. And if you are able to complete that process, it works. So the issue is not in that the process doesn't work or the 12 steps don't work. It's more the fact that for whatever reason, I'm not able to complete them. If we're able to flip that distinction, then it actually gives us a big opportunity to explore that as to how we can do something about that. So again, if we look back at the gym, if you're going to the gym, you're really out of shape, you're trying to get in shape. If you're going on your own, if you don't really know how to use the machines, if you're not talking to anyone at the gym, if you're not kind of getting involved in that whole environment and you're just kind of going on your own, gritting your teeth and trying to stick at it, chances are you're not going to do that well. So the first part is to realize that, okay, if I'm going to give myself the best chance at doing this, I basically need some help. So in the gym, if people can afford it, they will get maybe a personal trainer. and that personal trainer will keep them accountable, will show them how to do the program, will kind of develop a relationship with them so they're not doing it on their own. Maybe you'll talk with them in between sets so it's not as boring. And with their experience, they're going to be able to help you to make progress probably faster than you'd be able to make it on your own. Problem is, with the gym, most people don't have the money to hire a personal trainer. With recovery, that idea of a guide, a personal trainer, someone who's going to help you with the program is completely embedded within AA in the form of a sponsor. You may or may not have heard of a sponsor, but a sponsor effectively is someone who helps you with the program, helps you to do the program. The difference between the gym and AA is that the sponsor is completely free. You should never be paying for your sponsor's time, or you should never be giving your sponsor any money. So that's the first part, is to realize that, okay, I can get a sponsor, and then that person is going to help me to do the 12 steps, and you give yourself a much better chance if you do that. So that's the first part, is realizing that you kind of want to get a sponsor before your own willingness and effort is going to expire. Because the thing with fitness and recovery and both of these things is that there does come a point in which you will reach a certain momentum where you start to see results, you start to feel different, and that gives you this renewed sort of strength to continue and persevere. But in the beginning, it's very difficult. So in the beginning, it really helps to get that help. So a lot of people spend a lot of time trying to find the right sponsor, trying to, not wanting to ask this person, or don't feel they connect with people. And I'll probably make a whole different tape on choosing a sponsor, and in some places a sponsor is chosen for you and stuff like that. But for now, I just wanted to focus on this first idea, which is realizing that in order to stick around, it helps to try and get more involved in the meetings. So that will also look like service. So there are lots of service opportunities that you can get at meetings, whether that's greeting, whether that's making coffee or washing up. And it sounds like, these things are like, oh, why would I do that? But the reason is because it gives you a reason to keep going. It gives you a reason to show up, gives you a reason to get talking to people. And, experience shows that these are the things that really make the difference. And again, so mainly the purpose of this tape is just to explore the idea of how you can give yourself a better chance to stick around for long enough to start seeing results, and also to kind of poke at this idea about, AA not working because, is it that it didn't work, or is it that I wasn't able to do it? And if you're able to make that switch to say, well, I wasn't able to do it, and maybe it would have worked if I'd actually got a sponsor and actually got some service and really given it a go, then maybe it will give people a renewed effort to go and try again if they still have a desire to stop drinking and have found that they've not been able to do so. And the last thing I'll close with is the idea that I don't believe that AA is necessarily the only way to get recovery. If you think about getting fit, there are lots of different forms of exercise and ways of getting in shape and different things that you can do. The only question I would ask is it working? Is it working? Are you getting the results that you hoped for? And if you're not, to have that honesty and the humility to say, okay, well, what can I kind of do about that, and what are my options available if I still want to try and go through with this. So yeah, hope that helps, and I'll leave it there.